Well, Coach, the good news for now, no snow in the forecast, but plenty of scarves and mittens in this sea of orange at Empower Field at Mile High, just west of downtown Denver. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Denver Broncos. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. Hey, Wahoo. 53 to Mike.
On first down, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. But once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10.
It's going to be a long day. X3, 218, 5.
To throw again, Herbert. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
Ready up. Rush in. Hard. Switch.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
Watch the pass. Yes. Hey, Sam on. Shoot. Ready?
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's third down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Squeeze. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Go out. Check 24.
To throw on third down, Herbert. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
We taking win call. Alert flag. Hey, Haywood.
On first and 10, it's Lindsay. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a second and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a second and 3.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Switch. Hatchet. Switch.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, switch gears. Whip. Watch the whip. Bam. Watch it. They go.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mike 53. Hey, here I come.
2nd and 9 now. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Jeff Hireman, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. 8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the 1st down marker. So instead of forcing the field goal, it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, the force was trying to make something happen that just didn't need to, right? I mean, the plays happen, let it go. It's over. Instead, he creates a penalty.
They'll run here with Lindsey. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Phillip Lindsey, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Now a carry for Lindsey. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
Here we go. Set. 8, read. Watch the screen. Pass. 5.
Off play action. Herbert rolling to his right. And that'll be incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds, because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker.
60 or. We own it. We own it. Ready?
On 3rd down, Herbert to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The kick by McManus is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. They run with Howard. And out across midfield down to the 45. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wentz. Catch is made by Arcega-Whiteside. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 21.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Trying to punch it in with Howard. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal. On the draw, leaves it for Sanders. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. McManus now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Howard. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Rock it.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. He's going to have the first down past the 20 as he'll take this up to the 22-yard line. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards. Now, you talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Hey, high 7. 2.
First throw now for the backup lock. Eluding the pressure right. And his first throw here is incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll try to draw Lindsey. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little...
And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is, his first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A huge play there for Denver. 41 yards.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Hey, Sam off. Hey, Orbit.
From the gun, Herbert. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile.
Go. Ringo. Hey, seam 6. 53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Go.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Smooth. Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. Wow. Look. Squeeze. Check 9. Ready.
Operating from the gun. Herbert trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And he finds Howard complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Wentz now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. It's complete to Chris Conley. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
There we go. Backman.
Wentz to throw again. It's Hill, complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So they're able to capture the lead here just before halftime.
And not only that, they get the ball to start the second half.
That's right.
This is almost like basketball down the stretch, right, where you get the 2-for-1 situation where you try and get 2 shots to your opponent's 1. In this situation, they got the touchdown. They'll get another shot at to start the second half.
Could be a big turnaround. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so, and guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. A big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike. Leo. Stay with Ben. He's coming. We got the ball. Hit it.
Back to throw. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us down.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Here we go.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. That one complete to Hill. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, set this one off target.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I can't believe they even let you play. No! Hey, Charlie! Kill! On the ball! Go!
2nd and 11. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
From the gun, it's Allen. And he's going to let it go deep. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 42 yards.
It's your first drive of the second half. You're down on the scoreboard. Maybe you just say to yourself, let's take a shot, see if we can shake them up. And boy, they hit that one.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Pull it high.
From the gun, Herbert. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 21.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Set. Thank you, Gator. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go. Big rip.
On 3rd and short, this is Janovich. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Ready? 18, Gator. Hey, exit. 58's the money. 58's the money. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Hey, foxtrot.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Running right, this is Freeman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the gun, Herbert. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. That pick hurts a little extra because it was 3rd down. You were already in field goal range.
You know what he's going to hear all night, all next week? Situational football. Understand what's going on because you expressed it perfectly. 3 points were in their hip pocket. They had those. Now, those went by the wayside. You cannot make those kind of mistakes.
It's what you call a rookie mistake. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
On 2nd down, it's Howard. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. A good run by Jordan Howard, and now another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. 14 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Running with Howard. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. To throw is Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Denver. And even 50 yards. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now it's Lindsey. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
53, Mike. Switch up. Check 43. He's coming. Double up. He's coming, double up.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
Here we go. Set. 10 Lobo. Switch. Go.
They run from the pistol here with Freeman. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Oh, that's offline. He hooked it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, just kicking a field goal there, that's a decision that could be open to second guessing. You know, you're trying to get back within a field goal, but it didn't work out as planned.
And now you're banking on your defense to be motivated enough to get out there and get the ball back for you. I think if that ball goes through the post, the defense is naturally motivated, even elevated in their...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
He'll try and run it. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
You got nothing.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. He's got this complete to Hamilton. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Deshaun Hamilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now just an extra point away from taking the lead here in the final 2 minutes. They do tack on the extra point as well, and that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
For most people, the excitement of a kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier. And that
nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Back to throw. They complete it to Hill. And they work this out past the 25. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Now Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Once more, he was looking for Alshon Jeffrey, and now it's third down. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third. Fourth down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big first down.
One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
You ain't doing nothing today.
Wentz going to go on fourth down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Mike. Here we go. Let's go.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them.
Ready to break. 53 is the mic. They're going to need some therapy after this.
And they take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. So this one will wind up a Denver victory.